Going on?
Hey, let me turn off the fan.
Okay, we're live. I pressed the button.
Oh,
So,
good. Turning off the fan.
uh, yeah. Sorry, I just setting up, um, and I did not. Where's my thing? There we go. I'm gonna share this out a little bit. Hi, everyone. Whoever's joining, whoever's watching, just
Ooh,
give me a second here. Sharing this out a bit.
I'm not watching yet either.
I'm gonna put this in MCCW. You working Marvel?
What's that?
You working Marvel? You on something Marvel related?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just doodling. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know. Did you share it out?
Yeah, I just put it on MCCW, and I'm gonna post it somewhere else. Just give me a second.
Oh, there we go. Do that. Hey, Frank, how you doing? See,
Is there
it's
comments?
working. Yeah, he
What's going
says
on,
howdy.
Frank? Random. What's going on, Avatar? Over on Facebook. 1 second, still sharing.
Yeah, no, I just got. I'm in the middle of doing my redoing my office, the studio, and so like I had to basically unplug everything.
Oh, and I got to plug everything back in.
So I had to plug in my my printer, print out the reference, and now I'm just gonna doodle. But it's just we call the God. This is my setup is so jacked right now,
Jacked.
but
Nothing wrong with that. Just as long as it works. I miss the good old days when I just used to duct tape my cell phone to a box for this.
yeah,
So
I miss the good old days when I wasn't doing drywall.
well, all right. I'll shout it out. Got this going. Work on some stuff. Happy Spider-Man Metal Day.
Yeah,
How's that
Webhead.
for drama? Yeah, Webhead
Well,
Wednesday to the extreme. To the extreme.
yeah, yeah. There's a bit of a few people riled up over it,
Yeah, there's.
but you know, I'm not. I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, I think that, to be honest, aside from just the market in general, I think that there's also a little bit of inflation that's kind of taking place
Plays a
there.
factor. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about just the general, like, oh, the price of a grapefruit has gone up. I'm talking about like uh, the supply chain and things like that, you know, because even though, yeah, I think I saw something about like everybody knows what the MSRP is. It's like, well, but do we? You know, number one, unless it's, you know, just from the rumor mill.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen like an actual number. You know, I think everybody can kind of, you know, figure out where it would be, but that was also, you're talking about 2019, 2020 numbers before you couldn't find paper, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of factors in play, and whatever
Oh yeah, yeah,
reasoning.
yeah. I'm
There's
not blaming it all on one thing. I'm just
yeah.
saying that there are several things that are several balls in the air,
I think
candidly.
regardless of what price point this ended up at, um, being the first real release since the Pandy, right?
Yeah.
It's just it's setting the expectation for future releases and what they're going to be priced. And I think a lot of people are worried about, okay, if this set, which is supposed to be a mid-level set, is priced at 500, what's the
Mm-hmm.
top level set, like the next iteration of Black Diamond, Masterpieces, Premier, the sets that were the high ticket items before? What are they going
Right.
to look at? Avengers, whatever else is supposed to be coming out. Um, how are they going to be priced? Because right now you're spending $40 for um, one side is not one side. Like, sorry, I got a message and I completely lost my train of thought. The hell were we talking about?
Pricing on premium sets
Pricing and
in
premium sets.
relation to into relation to the pricing here, which I think it's a valid concern. Again, I'm not I'm not bashing any prices anywhere. I'm curious to see how that rolls over. You know.
Yeah, and I think maybe that's. Oh, I was gonna say at $40, you're gonna spend $40. You're getting two cards. Um, you're getting two cards. If you are gonna go buy one pack, you got two cards.
Right.
Um,
Well, does
and
anybody
potentially
remember
the
what what the price point was per pack for Masterpieces 2020?
28, 30 maybe.
So it's
I can look up my
yes,
transactions, but it wasn't the same.
yeah,
But
maybe it
even
was like
metal, I think was the.
27.99 or something like that. But
I think that was metal, X-Men metal, and you got
oh,
a
okay,
similar. Like I don't remember the details of what you actually got for it, but it was an easier pill to swallow. So but one of the things to look at, and I think was part of consideration, is like looking at what you get for, like how much product you get for your spend, but also what is the aftermarket, or sorry, the retail market doing in terms of setting up pricing for the EPAC releases of products. Because if we remember, Masterpieces was selling really high in physical, and then they went into EPAC with a lower price than kind of the going price.
right,
So I think they were going for like 500, and people were like, "Oh my god, this is ridiculous!" And then they came in like 350 a box on EPAC, which was a lot more acceptable. And you did get cards. It was like it was a full deck, right? All the
right.
cards were
Yeah,
physical. The
they were
first
all
one.
physical. They were physical. What, 3 cards a pack, right? It was physical,
Yeah.
and two of them, well, at least one numbered,
Well, the
right?
Masterpiece is all numbered.
Not like the preliminaries not numbered.
Oh yeah,
The
but it was it
gold
was
signature.
it was a little bit more. Yeah, you're right. Okay, at least one numbered card, and then you could get other stuff. No, I
Right.
bought I think two packs, and I think one of them was all gold six. But even the gold six, if I remember correctly, were numbered. Anyways,
No, they weren't.
no.
No.
Anyways, at the end of the day, you spent $30. You got three cards. They could have
Yeah.
been big hits. They could have been
It
nothing.
was
Now you're spending
original art.
$60. Yeah. So how what is it going to look like in terms of pricing for the next iteration of an original art set? I think that's why a lot of people are concerned, because I'm seeing comments and people that I know aren't really Spidey collectors, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think their outrage and their concern is like, what is this doing for the pricing long term and for all product? Are they getting
Right.
priced out of the hobby, or are they getting priced out of the specific set? So
No,
there's
that's
definitely some stuff there, and then there's a lot of stuff going on with like the achievements. Apparently, I don't fully understand what they all are, but apparently the achievements aren't that great, for, especially for the price point. And there's a lot of stuff going on with the sketches. There's 25 names on the sketch card checklist.
And we're talking about EPAC only. We're not talking about physical,
EPAC and physical, because the physical list had more names, right?
Yeah.
But it's not the same names.
Huh.
There's people on physical that aren't on EPAC, and I got a cross-reference, and I haven't, I guess, done my due diligence in preparation to really discuss this in mass detail. Sure, there's going to be other people who do this stuff more in depth who will address all these concerns. It's just not my bag, right?
Right. No, I think
I just want to draw pictures, but we'll see. I'll wait a little bit to see if more people hop on. There's 5 viewers now, because I didn't share all my cards yet, but I did actually make a video of them before I sent them out, so I'm going to share that live.
Oh, cool.
It's not a fancy video. I just recorded me flipping through the cards. Avatar is asking wow. Oh, excuse me. Is asking, how much do you guys focus on what you are creating, and how much do you do it unconsciously, like automatically? So, you want to?
I think that, for like as an example right now, I'm just doing the gesture drawing and I'm just kind of tightening some things up, kind of a thing. That's kind of the autopilot side of things. Like, and it depends on how you approach it. Like, for instance, Dre is, kind of tightening up his pencils here, but he's planning on painting that. Now, if you were to like ink and, marker it, use a marker, you would probably pay a little more attention to your line work, after your pencils go down. And then, when you get, once you get the inks down, the pencils, after the pencils may be a little bit looser, but you may tighten it up in the inking process. And then when you go to markers for colors, you might be a little more on autopilot again. So it depends on what your approach is, in terms of what medium you're using. And obviously, different artists do different things. I mean, I know guys that they'll pencil something really, really loosely, and then they'll go in and tighten it, and they'll just basically save it until they get to the ink stage, and that's when they tighten things up. And then there are other guys that I know that do really tight pencils, really tight inks. And then there are guys that do like even loose pencils and then go straight to marker and tighten it all up in the coloring phase.
Yeah, so I think that the answer really depends on which phase of the creation you're in, right? Like for me right now, I'm in pretty much an autopilot. I'm just blocking in dark areas. I'm not being too accurate with it, as long as I'm just within the shapes, because I'm going to paint over. So this is autopilot right now. It's rough, it's quick. But when I was doing the original pencils, that was a lot more focused. And it's going to be the same thing when I go into paint. When I do the initial washes and the initial glazes to just block in base color, it's going to be very loose and kind of just like autopilot. And then when I start getting into detail, that's when it gets a little bit more focused, because that's when I really build out the important part. Like right now, as long as and it's pencils, I guess, as long as I'm not too far out of the lines, I'm good.
Right.
Chicken scratches and that. And I think I'm going to actually hit this with inks as well, just to get that value.
Yeah, like for instance, right now I'm, just kind of throwing down a general, line work, and then I'll transfer this to a piece of board and then start tightening it up there. So The reason I'm not doing anything, super detailed right now is because I've got a soccer game to go to.
Oh, when are you heading out?
The game is at 7, so we got to leave here by 6-ish,
Oh, okay.
and then yeah, so that's why it's got to be. I can't be on forever because
Yeah, I'm gonna be on for an hour or so. But,
yeah, like an hour is fine.
but don't let me hold you up. Let's see if Gordon wants to hop on or if he's gonna hop on. But this might be during his.
Well, it's only Wednesday,
Yeah,
so he could
it's
still be at
Wednesday.
the office or on his way home or when he gets home could be.
Yeah, but whatever. I think I'm gonna do this again on Friday around the same time. See how my day goes.
Yeah, Friday might be pretty good because I may be waiting for paint to dry.
Oh, perfect.
So I'm hoping. I just got my second coat of whatever mud on, so I got to still sand that and see if I have to do a third, and then start painting the ceiling. So
Fun. Wow.
Good news is that this is the last room.
Well, who's that good news for?
What's that?
No disrespect, but it doesn't affect me in any way. It's good news for you.
Yeah. Let's see. Who else is here? Jeff. Jeff is watching.
What's up, Jeff?
Let's see.
So, let's see messages. Oh! I got a very interesting email. Let me see.
What? Did you now?
Oh, let's see. Let's see. Hold, please. Okay. There's one. Sorry, I'm just checking something. Okay.
Oh boy, I have no idea where my pointer is.
Okay. All right.
Oh yes, I do. It's hiding over here. Coming. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that I got this. Sorry, I just got to respond to this email.
You just got a reply?
Yeah, I did get a reply and some interesting stuff here, but not what I was looking for. So we'll follow up on that some more.
So yeah, this week, like I said, started working on the office, got the flooring in. So now, and then got the wiring in for the ceiling fan / light.
That's always important. Get a little air movement in there.
Yep, and then got so I had to patch up all the holes in the walls and ceiling and Good times. There we go.
After is asking, how did you get started in comics? So I'll answer that one. I'm not in comics. I do sketch cards. Maybe one day I'll get into comics if someone will hire me for it. But Warner has worked in comics.
Yeah, I did. It's a funny story. Is back in the early '90s.
Sorry, just preface that with Warner's old.
Yeah, it's when I was a young adult in the '90s. Growing up, I always wanted to be in animation. And growing up in the Midwest in the '70s and '80s, it wasn't as easy to get into it, into deal as it is nowadays. And the closest thing that I started getting back into comics in the early '90s, and I figured, hey, I could probably do this, and it's kind of like animation. It's at least the storyboard side of it. So I, put together a portfolio, went around, got rejected by absolutely everybody, and then decided to self-publish. So I worked on my own book for a little bit, and then eventually ended up getting onto. I did a few projects on G.I. Joe and Transformers, and of course, and some smaller press stuff as well. And then was approached at San Diego to try my hand at doing sketch cards for Upper Deck. So
that's San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, San Diego Comic-Con. And then, shoot, I got this all wrong. That's the belt side. I've been basically kind of doing that as of late, but it's I gotta get back into the comic scene because the well's a little dry at the moment. So but yeah, I've got several books actually in the on the back burner, so to speak. So I gotta get going on those, but I gotta get my studio remodeled first. So that's my game plan. As soon as I get this thing finished, is start pulling out those projects. I've got one book right now that I'm currently coloring. I've got writing the next series of stories for the next trade. And of Mighty Moose, my IP, if you will.
Your IP?
My IP. But yeah, that I mean, it's funny, is like when you're doing a convention or something, and you get a kid that comes along and says, "Well, how do I get into comics?" It's like you don't really get in; you just do it. There
is no try; just do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, nowadays, in terms of like recruiting and stuff like that, it's not like it used to be where you'd have to go to a convention and show an editor your portfolio and have them dash your dreams, so to speak. This is, man,
because we live a virtual age. So
yeah, I mean, it's like
you can build a following on social media, and
that's how you get your invites.
Yeah, and just get discovered per se, because
I think that's how you got hooked into it, right?
Yeah, I got hooked on Instagram, right? I've never done a con. I don't really plan on doing a con, but That's, I think, how a lot of people actually did get hit up. They just like your stuff that you post and hit you up. I'm sure that there is. I mean, for the comic books and for publishing, I'm sure that there's mailboxes they can email your portfolio to. But I think the big part is that you don't need to go to a con, wait in line, and everything. That you can just send
Yeah.
your stuff through, same as you would apply for a job online, really. Which
Yeah. Yeah.
it's got a lot of advantages, I think, but there's also disadvantage because you lose that personal interaction, which can make or break a deal.
Exactly. I mean,
Because
that
Tim,
was one of the
as
things.
job applications, a lot of times you look at a resume and you're like, okay, this sounds great, or you look at a resume and it's like, okay, this doesn't really make sense. But then you meet and you talk to the person, and your outlook on them totally changes. And that actually happened to me very recently with some hires. But it's got to be the same thing. Like the art will speak for itself for the most part, but there's more to it.
Yeah, and to the what's funny about that too is that yeah, the art speaks for itself, but in all fairness, when it comes to being an illustrator, we're a dime a dozen. You know, it's really one of those things where you kind of look at, and this goes to your point with the face to face thing, where it's like, okay, well, this guy draws just as good as you, but he doesn't give me any lip, you know,
Yeah.
or
Or
there's a guy
especially, I
that
think, as a junior level, anything, a big part of it is, there's a certain skill set or degree of skills that you're hoping to have in a person. But
yeah,
there's also is this person able to grow? Is this person plateaued? Is this person, like, is this as good as they're going to get? Because if you're going to break into anything creative as a new person, the expectation is going to be from any art director, creative director, whatever, it's going to be that with time and experience, you're only going to get better. But if you're looking at somebody like, this is as good as this person's going to get, or this person doesn't take direction, or this person, has no creativity, or not has no creative, has a very limited creative sense, you can't get that from a portfolio. The portfolio is just going to show the current technical ability.
right.
Um, and I think that's one of the advantages of social media, that somebody can look at your feed and see growth and say, hey, this is where they were a year ago. This is where they are now. They're obviously invested in this skill, in this field, and they're putting in the work. And
Yep.
that's probably like, I went through this on my Instagram at one point. I started deleting everything that's old, not deleting, like hiding everything that's old. And then after a while, I was like, no, that's probably a bad idea. And I brought up whatever I didn't delete that was just archived. I brought it back.
Right.
Because it does show the growth.
Yeah, and
that's an important aspect of it. I mean, it's not your portfolio. You're not going to send in a portfolio because here's the sketches that I did 6 years ago. They look like balls, but
in a sense, it is. It's kind of a portfolio in the sense that, to your point, yeah, you're. I should not even fold that.
But that's where it behaves like a resume, where you can see, hey, when
Right.
you got out of school, you were like the receptionist at this agency. Then a year later, you became a junior account rep. Then a full-fledged account rep. Then a manager. Then a junior VP. Then a VP, and it shows the growth. I think looking at your social feed that shows that evolution of the creative tells the exact same story.
Yep.
Like if somebody
Exactly.
shows a resume and he says, "Oh yeah, I was senior director of this," and that's the only thing that they show on your resume, that's not enough, because everyone feels like, "Okay, well, how did you get there?"
Yep.
And that's where social history, I think, plays a factor.
I agree.
Yeah. So
I don't know if we answered the question.
I don't think if that answered the question, but it was a good chat nonetheless. Yeah, after let us know if that helped.
Or even if we answered the question you asked. So
Yeah.
how did we get into it? Yeah, I just
Well,
did it.
I'm not in it, so there, I answered that question.
Yeah, it's a little, it's a lot of hard work, a little bit of luck, and keep drawing. I mean, like currently, I've got I've got stuff that's on my plate, but I don't have anything that's
Oh, he says he
current.
did. Okay, glad.
Yeah, I don't have anything that's currently real going on, but it's not. I'm not like sitting around waiting for like the next gig. I'm just kind of, I hate. I mean, it sounds so pretentious, but I'm honing my craft. Which is probably the best way to put it. But yeah, I'm just trying to learn how to be better. And that's really to some degree all you can do. If you've got nothing going on. Let's go ahead and a little more dunk.
Nope. But yeah. So I don't know how many people are watching. 3 people. Screw it. Let me see if I can do this. Can I share? I don't think I've done this before. Let me see if I can share a tab. Oh, I can share a screen. See what this looks like. Can you see anything?
I see nothing. Oh, wait.
Oh, okay. Hang on. I think I got it. Add to stream. Oh, that's not great. I wish I had a portrait version. Oh, what if I do this? But where's the third one? Hold on. Sorry, guys. Why can't I see everybody? Okay, it's defaulting to this. So after saying,
yeah, just run it.
Yeah, I'm an artist as well, and I love comics, especially black and white, classic Silver Age comics. So I hope to get into comics, but could never find the right moment to motivation. This. So I think, regardless of what you're trying to get into, there is no right moment. It's now. If you don't start, like, if you want to get into any creative field, you need to start creating now.
Yep.
And start creating. Try to get a group of peers that can give you clear feedback and critiques. Like, don't ask your mom, is my drawing good? Because your mom's always going to say it's great, right? Like, try just to learn and practice as much and as fast as you can, and start posting it. And you'll hit a certain level. At a certain point, you're going to hit a level where you're going to start breaking through to from kind of amateur to this is good. And I don't know what level you're at, so don't.
There's another thing you can do. You could actually look online and find like sample scripts. Like for instance, Marvel, DC, everybody puts out sample scripts and stuff. If you want to get into comics, I can guarantee you nobody's going to hire you right away to do covers if that's what you're looking to do. Learn how to do sequentials, follow scripts, and when you read it, you almost want to read it like you can see it in your mind's eye as a movie as it plays out. This is the way that I do it anyways. When I write a script, I'm not writing a script for a comic. It's broken down like a comic, but in my mind's eye, I actually see it, the moving picture, if you will. So if you can see the moving picture and then just pick those, going back to animation here, pick those key frames, and those highlight points from the script, and that's what you draw, and you're able to string those those keyframes together, then you've got it.
Let's start now.
Yeah. Draw cars, draw drapery, draw trees, buildings,
Feet, hands.
feet and hands. Jesus.
All right, so let me run this.
Yeah, run it. Let's see
Run it.
That's actually a good idea too, by the way.
Yeah, I should have done this for other sets, but I'm gonna do this if I ever do any other sets before. So that was Scorpion and Scorpion, Sandman, Craven, and I think I have these in the order of my kind of least favorite to my more favorite. The hell's this guy's name?
It's not a live stream if the phone doesn't ring.
Yeah, that's right. Not Night Trasher. Prowler.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. There's a lag. So yeah, I'm saying you're talking purple guy.
Yeah. Prowler. What's up, Brandon? BDSM. Shocker. Green Goblin. Miles Morales.
I like that Goblin. I'm watching it on the.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
on the tablet, so there's a bit of a lag.
The Night Monkey, as you said.
Night Monkey.
Yeah. There's just a hint of brown on that one to pass the color, the black and white thing.
Yeah.
Spidey. I think this is the only like Spidey I did in this set.
That's nice.
I can't remember the character's name. It's like the Carnage version of something. Gwen, Spider-Gwen Carnage, or whatever her name is.
Gwenum.
Well, no, it's not Gwenum. It's the Carnage one.
I don't know. I haven't.
Carnage. Just straightforward Carnage.
Boy, this lag is brutal.
Scream.
All right, there's Carnage.
Okay. I can't remember which one this is. The white symbiote.
Anti-Venom?
Is it Anti-Venom with the horns?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I have this written down somewhere. Brandon will know. Then Venom. Venom 2099. This is probably one of my favorite ones from this batch. Oh no, Toxin might be my favorite. It's between 2099 and this one. Anti-Venom. Okay, Brandon confirmed. Oh no, I really like this one too. So this, I don't know what the name is. This is one of Null's Sentinels, or whatever they're called. He's got a whole army of these guys that have the
curly Q on their head.
The curly Q on their head, yeah. Can't remember this guy's name. Lasher, maybe? No, Lasher's green. Whatever. Then there's my Prince Null. This one was fun to do. This was probably the quickest sketch card I did in my life.
The Null?
No, not the next one. I know you're on a delay. The Venom coming to the death. This is all black.
You know what the trick is to Null? I just use reference from was it the White Walkers from Game of Thrones?
Oh, that's not bad. Okay, so this is my puzzle for metal, and I'm based on the checklist on EPAC. This is what my only thing on EPAC. It's Cosmic Spider-Man dual piece, so I'm glad to see that they're doing it as one.
Nice.
There's a lot of depth in the background. Yeah, Cosmic Spider-Man. And then I think the last one I have in this batch is this fucker. What's up, Jayhawk? Which, by the looks of it, is going to be physical. This thing photographs like a bag of potatoes. I was actually surprised on how well it captures the metallic effect on the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, but photographs like shit. These guys look totally different. I mean, there's the AP that was on eBay this weekend, and
Oh,
that's
so
it.
you did this as a pack pull.
So these are all pack pulls, and the one that was up on eBay
The AP.
was the AP. So it's a different pose on that one, but a similar look. The AP
Yeah,
is
because
actually
it's
kind of
it's
more.
all Bagley, right?
Yeah, they're both based on Bagley, and the AP one's a lot. It's got a smoother finish on the
Yeah.
green.
Oh, okay.
Um, because I learned more between. So I
Yeah.
checked the date step on this. This is September 28th, 2021 is
Yeah.
when I shot that footage. So
Yeah,
between
that
then and
was.
now, I figured out a little bit more as to how to get the metallic look. And how many people watching? 7 people. That's not too many.
We got. Well, apparently just the one on the Book of Face, and that's
Yeah, there's a
me.
couple people on YouTube as well.
Well, you know what? I take that back because I'm watching it from the.
It doesn't matter. I shared it in multiple places. I'm just trying to find something, and luckily I don't know where I put it. That's not good. That's no bueno. Oh, there it is. Is that random? Yes, it is. This is a random PSC commission. So I'll show this because there's not too many people watching. So this is gonna come soon.
Is this
This is
another?
Yeah, whenever I get around to finishing him, I don't know. Let me know when
What's
you're.
that supposed to be? Gold or yellow or?
That's gold, and that's like 24 karat brushed gold. That's why it's so shiny.
Nice.
This gold finish it's got a texture to it, which is maybe you can see in the video, but it's so smooth, and you can
Nice.
actually polish it, and it'll get shinier. Which I probably don't recommend anyone doing on a card once it's done, but
Yeah.
don't rub it. But yeah, I was trying a new gold mixture for a commission. This isn't it. This one's going to go up for sale or auction. I haven't decided, but yeah, I was trying a new gold mixture for a commission, and instead of just practicing on cardboard, just do it on a card. Right?
Got it.
Oh, and I got another gold coming, which is not marble. Let me know when you catch up.
Let's see.
This one's almost
Another
done.
gold. What is that? Like a dragon? Oh, there we go.
Charizard. So this is on the Pokemon card.
Oh, okay.
On where's my Pokemon card? At the Walmart here, I don't know if they do it in the States. They sell these Pokemon packs of like 24 cards for I don't know, like $6, $7. And I don't know anything about Pokemon cards, but they just look like random, like just random cards. They're supposed to be one hit. So
Yeah.
I bought a pack. I'm gonna do some Pokemons and see if there's interest in that. But it's cool because the back's gonna be like this, like the full Pokemon card, and then the front's gonna be the painting. So
You're doing the lettering and everything?
no, the front it's full coverage, but the back of the card, because it's an actual Pokemon card.
Yeah.
I'm leaving
Oh,
the back as
okay.
is.
I got it.
So yeah, there's my story.
I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, so based on what I'm reading so far, it looks like the only Spidey Metal sketch that's on e-Pack is that duel from my batch, which means the rest of them should be all physical. And there may be more, but I don't know what happened with them.
Well, they could be inserted into the blasters too. And that's
Okay, so let me tell you one thing. I might be offended if that green Venom pops up in the blaster. And that just might be me being a little arrogant right now, but I might be a little offended about that.
Um, I see where you're coming from. I think that the offense would be anybody. Well, I don't know. I
I guess actually it might depend on who's getting it,
Yeah. I mean,
right?
if it's some window licking you know 7-year-old.
Yeah, then I'm gonna be a little ticked off because it's gonna get damaged. I mean,
Right.
if it's a collector, like so many collectors bought their uh, retail
Yeah.
boxes
Somebody
of basketball.
somebody who like got a hobby box and then was like, too rich for my blood, but is hunting down boxes at every Target within a 100-mile radius.
Yeah, if it's someone that's gonna appreciate it, because I want I I think that card's special to me because I really like the way it looked and it
I'm guessing.
created
I'm
a market
guessing
for
that
me.
if I had to guess, I would say that Upper Deck, when they sent out the invitations, they said they sent out the invitations and they were specifically sending invitations to certain artists for hobby boxes and e-pack.
You think?
And there may be a different set. Like for instance, like if somebody, like if a guy worked on it on metal, Spidey Metal, and had 3 batches to do, I would have to guess that he had one batch for physical, one batch for e-pack, and one batch for blasters.
So I'll counter that with I did 2 batches and I'm not on
Okay.
e-pack.
Okay.
And did this what I showed now? This is the first batch because I still don't know what's happening with the second batch.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Now it could be, and it's funny because, oh gosh, what was it? There was a funny thing in 2019 premiere where I did a bunch, and I think I did 3 batches, I think, and 2 batches went to e-pack. But I think on masterpieces I did 3 batches as well, and one batch went to e-pack, one batch went, or no, I'm sorry, two. I did 2 batches, and they took the first batch and split that between e-pack and
Yeah,
physical.
I don't know. Historically, I don't know if there was like direct correlation between batch one, batch two being EPAC physical because I've
It
had
used to
stock
be.
like
It used to be where they'd turn around and they'd say, "Hey, you'd get your invitation to do it, and then you'd do the thing, and that would be the physical thing. And then they'd come back later and say, "Hey, can you do another batch for e-pack?" That's what
yeah,
it
I've never
used to be.
experienced that, so I don't know.
That's the way it used to be, and then things, I mean, personnel changed. I think the way
Well, it ain't what it used
operations
to be.
changed.
Ain't what it used to be. Ain't what it used to be.
No, it ain't what it used to be.
No,
That's for
it
sure.
definitely ain't what it used to be.
I mean, I didn't. I forgot that you did 2 batches for Spidey Metal,
Yeah, and I haven't
because I
shared
only
anything
ended
from
up.
the second.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I only did the one. I know I got signed on for a second one, but that got kind of
That never happened.
sidelined. Yeah, because they were mixing things up. They had some kind of a mix up with several different sets, and I think that they had to go back to they had to go back to basics and go back to the drawing board and say, oh, okay, wait a minute, where are we? You know.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. It happens. Let's see. Let's turn that up. So, these mannequins are funny because it's almost like they're made for manga or anime.
Oh, they're definitely anime proportions.
Yeah, so it's like
Especially the
you got to
head.
go back in and kind of make it a little more real. Let's see.
So I'm just trying to think how I'm gonna color this. I might spray it. Depending whether I should do airbrush or. But if I airbrush it, I think I can't do anything more in it right now because I don't have an airbrush here.
That's okay because we're. I don't know how long we've been on.
51 minutes and 39, 40.
Yeah, may have to call it at in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean I got other stuff to work on, so I'm not worried.
Yeah,
But,
I
I know you
need
gotta
to
go.
cut out here. Yeah,
Quitter.
you know what? I'd stick around, but it's.
I know. I'm just
the to be honest,
fucking with you.
the girls have been on the road for like ever, so this is like a first home game, and oh gosh, over a month, I think. So, and I think it's a makeup game as well, which is why it's in the middle of the week.
Oh, Jayhawk's making dinner. What's for dinner?
What's that?
Sorry, Jayhawk is saying that he's making dinner, and I just want to know what he's making. What you cooking?
Hot dogs. Is Jayhawk watching on Instagram?
No, he's on YouTube. So is Brandon. So is Avatar, right? So
Brandon.
Oh yeah, not Brandon. Brandon Stromberg.
Right. That's the guy who does the videos on the Tube of You. I know Mr. Jayhawk fan. Let's see. I think.
Yeah, I'm just deciding what I'm gonna do with this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna spray it, so I just gotta put it for photocopy and maybe work on the Spidey for a bit, but I don't know if I have what I need prepped.
Ooh, okay. I'm also thinking of the I just came up with a cool idea for the outfit here. So this is another one of the pinup things, right?
Yeah.
That I'm doing. What was that?
By the looks of it.
Let's see. I'm gonna go find the last one I just did. I'm actually pretty happy with this.
Is this the Hulk you bringing out?
Yeah.
The Hulk came out well. Oh, real well. Super shiny.
Yeah.
Which I know is on purpose, but
I switched varnish. So. Hi.
Hello.
So yeah, no, and I think I kind of like that leather look too. So I think I'm gonna keep with that.
With the leather theme.
Yeah, you paint the whole thing up and then you turn around and destroy it with a piece of sandpaper.
Yeah, that totally sounds like something I would never do.
Yeah, no,
and
it was I started doing it and I was kind of regretting it, but it's actually kind of growing on me a little bit more.
I almost think that if you do that, you don't want to go with a gloss. You want to go with a matte varnish. That makes sense. So you don't catch the reflections and all the texture. Or again, I know with gloss it photographs like shit, so that could be.
Well, what I should do, honestly, is and I didn't do it because again, I was working on this as I was emptying the office. But what I should have done was actually scanned it before I took the sandpaper to it.
Oh, to have a reference?
Well, no, to have it, have a clean version, like if you wanted to do a,
Oh, to have a digital image of it, like a clean image of it that you could use to
right,
show what the art looks like. Yeah, that would have
right,
been a good idea too. I mean, you could probably still photograph it with the proper lighting setup, like
right.
maybe with a polarized lens and shit, but that might be more work than it's worth.
Yeah, no, I mean, even if you scan it, I mean, you can still tweak things in Photoshop and stuff. I mean, that's the thing is and it's funny because there was something that I just saw recently, and I think it was in group. Um, and I don't remember. It was something that I don't remember. It was one of my pieces, your pieces, but it was definitely a piece that I recognized, that I knew of, and I was like, man, that looks like, and it was a scan. It was one of the uh, maybe it was on eBay or ComC or ePax or whatever, but it was like the scan was so bad of it that it really didn't do the piece justice. And I think it
Oh
was
yeah.
a sketch cut, you know.
Oh, it's very common, especially. I mean, you
And
see
well,
people doing cell phone pics on eBay with shitty lighting and out of focus.
right, but I mean, like but the thing is, and this is the thing that when I want to, I, you know what, I want to say it was something that was EPAC related because it was like the picture was so bad, but they're scanning it while it's in a top
Penny
loader
sleeve.
and
Yeah,
sleeve,
yeah.
you know. So I mean, it's not. I mean, it's like, dude, you got like everything going against you on that.
It's unfortunate, but the advantage there is that people get them home and they're like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean, it's super cool when they say, "Oh yeah, cool, I got a sketch from so and so," and then they get it in hand and they're like, "Oh, this is so much better." I mean, in all fairness, I kind of wish, and for those not in the know, when you do your submissions, when you do your cards, you have to send them a scan. And generally, nothing scans well unless you tweak it, right?
Yeah.
And you're probably better off taking a photograph, right, with your phone or something. But the thing is that they don't want you to send in individual pictures. They don't want like an email that's got like let's say
Yeah.
you do 40 cards. They don't want 40 images attached to this thing.
Yeah, they want to lay it
It's
out as a page.
right. So and that's that makes sense, but what would be cool is if you did have individual scans or pictures and so on and so forth, and instead of having ComC or EPAC scan them,
Oh,
you
have the
know.
artist submit their own images?
Exactly.
Yeah, but the thing is, not everybody's going to be able to rep to properly digitize the image.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
No,
then
I
I
mean,
think you're going to run into
and to
even
be honest,
more.
not every sketch card artist knows how to use Photoshop either.
Yeah, so not everyone's going to be able to produce the same degree of quality, and you're going to end up with really great sketches that aren't handled properly. Or, I mean, the biggest challenge is color temperature on your monitor, because you're going to scan it and you're going to be like, oh, this is what it looks like on my screen, and you're going to adjust it for your screen. But if your
Yeah,
screen's not
RGB.
calibrated, if your
Mm-hmm.
screen's not calibrated, like forget the color space, but if it's not calibrated properly, colors
Yep.
are off, right? Like
Yep.
I know my screens are a total mess, and that's just because they're old. But I would never use my screens to gauge colors. Like when doing photo editing and stuff like that, I don't use these screens. I have another screen.
What's
Um,
funny is I know a guy who he he would go. when he went and did prints, for shows and stuff, he would go to the printer and he'd go in there, give him the thing. He'd basically say, "Give me samples," and they'd print something out, and he'd go, "Nope," and then he would go in there and adjust
Yep.
their printers for them to get the right, levels that he wanted.
Yeah, I mean, there's color calibration, color profiles, all this stuff it's a science.
Oh
like,
yeah,
to get things to reproduce consistently. And commercial printers, like your Xerox color printer, it doesn't matter how many colors it has, like the ones you'll get like a Staples, which will do a quality print in terms of um, lines per inch and smoothness and color value, but
right.
they're not calibrated and they're abused to shit. So
Yep.
like if you really want proper reproduction, you need to do a proper scan or photo, then adjust it because you have to adjust it in post. There's no way you're going to take a single shot and it's going to be perfect. Adjust it in post on calibrated screen with a proper color profile, and then print it on a printer that will support that color profile. So that's where you get it, like those Canon photo printers and like those large format printers. That's the only way to really get proper um, reproduction on a smaller scale. Now, if you're Coke and you're printing out 1 million billboards, and you go to the
Mm-hmm.
print shop and you want to make sure that everything's calibrated the way you want, you have the budget to do it. But if
Right.
you're starving artist, you're not going to go drop 20 grand to print a handful of prints and have the print shop calibrate um, their like big press to your color profile. So
Exactly.
there's my
All right. Well, we are over an hour, which means it's actually time for me to bounce.
all right, bouncy bounce bounce. I'm gonna just put a little bit more gray and then I'll bounce as well. But thanks for hopping on. I'll try to do this on Friday as well if you're around. If your
Yeah,
paint's
I'll
right.
try to be there. I should be good. And as a matter of fact, for giggles, I got to think about this a little bit, kind of see how things kind of play this week. But I may have an announcement on Friday. So,
Ooh,
yeah, something to relieve the stress, so to speak.
all right.
So, anyways, isn't this weekend Fuller's 4,000 member party or something?
Oh, honestly, I don't know. I know it's soon. Yeah. So maybe hop in on that. I think I know what you're going to announce. I have a feeling I know.
Yeah. So, anyways, all right.
But
Well, I got to bounce.
cool, man. Thanks for hopping on. Enjoy the game.
Hi, Tommy.
Tommy's
So,
on?
yeah, he
Connor.
just got on.
Yeah.
All right, dude.
All right, later, man.
Later.
And now I'm all by myself. But what time is it? 6:40. I'm gonna wrap up soon as well. Just wanna clean up this eye here. And I gotta figure out how I'm gonna handle the spider logo. I really should have masked that off before I sprayed it, because now I don't know how I'm gonna get away. Tommy, you scared off Warner. Hope you're doing well, buddy. No, he had to go. It's nothing to do with you. He did say hi to you before he left. I think he just saw you pop into the viewers. Yeah, I mean, this is all acrylic right now. It's just I don't necessarily want to go flat white on the whole thing. So I think I might need to do a very light gray, lighter than what I'm doing for the straps here, um, to give me a base for the shadow areas, and then go with white like I did in the eye. Like this is only a little bit of pure white in the corners, and pick up some highlights from there. But that's, I think the logo needs to be the last, because I still need to pick up some highlights on the side in the red and a little bit in the blue as well. Trying something different with this one. I've never done kind of a messy airbrush base. Um, I like it. I like the breaking edges, but I do want to create a little bit of separation on this side. Using Roy Cover, how you doing, buddy? Using electric eraser to remove logos. I gotta try that on a scrap piece because I'm afraid that I'll peel paper, but that's not a bad idea. That is actually not a bad idea at all. I know, would you be able to get enough control to kind of erase out the full spider logo out of this? I never tried that. That's definitely, like I said, definitely an interesting idea. Let's see if I can. Where's my white pencil? If I lose my white pencil, that would be horrible. Oops, this is gray. Let's see. Takes a little while I use the white eraser. Oh, the printer logo. Oh, okay. So you would just remove like the entire Spider-Man logo, just erasing it with the electric eraser, and then paint over it. Because I'll tell you, one of the things that I have that's a challenge for me is I like to do. I mean, I haven't done a lot of sketch covers, but I really like to have the characters break over the title, like here. And this one I'm spraying, so you're gonna see the transparencies. But another one that I'm working on right now is this one. Um, and in order to cover off, and you can see it's still not done in the hammer, you can still see all the logo, but in order to cover off Cap silhouette in the title here, this is a lot of tiny brush strokes with very thick paint to lose the opacity. And there's still a little bit in the grays, but the rest of it is pretty much gone. But if you tell me that you can erase, that's a game changer. I'm definitely going to try that on something. Let's go back here. I'll definitely give that a try. Okay, let's see if a gray pencil will work. Okay, that works, but that's gray, so it doesn't work. So let's see if I can use a white pencil. But this is going to take a while. Maybe not. This might be enough for a base, just to lighten it and then hit it with, yeah, and then hit it with the paint, because at least it'll create a little bit of a visual separation. It's a slow process. You create transparent gesso over the logo and the areas where you're putting the characters, then paint over it. Yeah, see, I was thinking of doing that, but then I end up having to paint over it several times anyways. That's why I went straight in with paint. I mean, somebody suggested me to paint it in white, like use a heavy body heavy body like titanium white, just white it out and then repaint it. But then I'm still doing 2, 3 coats of white. Why not just do it flat with the color? Uh, After, thanks so much for tuning in, buddy. Have a lovely rest of the day, and thanks for checking out the channel. Mm, yeah, this is going to be very boring to watch, so I think I'm just going to wrap it up. Um, Somebody wants to watch me build layers of white, and I don't really have much more to talk about right now, so yeah. So like I said earlier, I'm going to try to stream again. Oh, I'm off frame. Did not set up the camera for this to work on the sketch cover. I'm trying to stream Friday late afternoon Eastern. It's the same thing as here. Prisma white pencils will go over the acrylic very easy, but then the wax of the pencil will be hard to paint over. So that is true, and this is Prisma Cool Erase, so the harder ones for the base. I'll probably hit it with a Premiere white after. The way I found to work around that is to do a layer of either what's called glazing medium or even better matte medium, and that will just seal in the pencil, and it gives you a surface the acrylic will stick to. Works beautifully. And I've seen some people use workable fixative. I just can't seem to find that anywhere at any store here. So I'd love to try it, but yeah, this stuff. This has a gloss to it, so I'm not crazy about it. Or the matte medium version of it, which I don't have it handy. It's matte medium. Is there anything it won't do? The problem or the challenge I face with the Prismacolor pencils is that I can't get. Oh, the fixable beat up paint. See, glad I didn't try that. Yeah, so I'm perfectly fine with the mediums. The challenge I face with the Prismacolor pencils is that I don't know if it's just my impatience or maybe my pencils are all jacked up. Is I cannot get a consistent application. So, I'll get a nice value, and then all of a sudden it'll just get brighter, and it's such a pain in the ass to try to normalize it that I try not to do too much with them. Like even with this, I hit a couple of paint speckles and it got really bright white, but that's okay because I'm gonna paint over it and I can normalize it with the paint. I've never had too much luck with colored pencils for like really blending, and I'm sure that that's me. I've seen way too many people get greaves on. Use white gouache mixed with white acrylics to do white. Huh. Um, are you able to work over it though? Like if you make a mistake and you go over it, or will the gouache get reactivated? And are you talking about um, acrylic gouache or the traditional gouache, like the more watercolor based stuff that does reactivate. Acrylic gouache or water-based gouache? Sorry, I'm not sure what the yes, which question the yes answered. Which reminds me, I need to buy some acrylic gouache. Out of the two with the acrylic paints, which is a version of Acryla paints. Okay, so that's the ones that don't reactivate when dry, if I remember correctly, and that's the ones that actually need to order. Um, I bought a set of the Liquitex acrylic gouache and was unfortunately quite disappointed with their performance. Um, so I need to get the Acryla one. Okay, yeah. So yeah, that makes total sense. That's what I need to order. As soon as I get off the stream, I'm gonna hop on Amazon and order uh, a set of those because I was debating whether to go with Acryla or Liquitex. I just went with Liquitex. Yeah, see, you're a golden boy. I'm torn. Um, I like the golden fluids, like the airbrush ones, like the inks. But overall, I like the Liquitex consistency or my dollar store stuff. Um, and both, like for the Liquitex Basics and the not the basics, just the I can't remember what the brand is called, like their proper brand. Um, I like those, though I don't really like the Liquitex acrylic inks. They're way too pigmented, and they have no value, like no coverage. I was so excited when I got my Liquitex ones. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get this white ink, and it's gonna give me nice coverage. No, it's like dipping your brush in water. But okay, let me see if I can get. Should be a good test. Get that. There's my white Premiere. The golden in bottles. It's like butter. Is that the like the little bottles? Is it the fluid ones? Because I think that's the one I use for airbrush, and they're fantastic. Um, yeah, this is gonna take way too long. I think I have no choice but to hit it with paint. The final white high-res Dr. P.H. Martin makes a white ink paint that goes over markers. Yeah, okay, so the small bottles, I have that. It's fantastic. I totally agree with you. I need to actually get some more. They're great. They're um, that's a fantastic product. The PH Martin's I'm having a hard time finding Dr. Page Martin's inks up here in Canada. Um, so I keep on looking, but can't even get them on. Well, I can get them on Amazon, but I kind of take issue with paying $45 for something that should probably be $12. So I never did order it. Bleed proof white. Okay, I'm gonna look that up. Thanks for the tip. I saw some people talk about the Copic white, um, but I don't know how if that's necessarily meant to stick to all surfaces as much as um, the Martins, or there's another brand. Mary Arts may have it. Uh, Not Mary Artists. I'm not familiar with them. Um, I mean, I founded a couple of retailers in the U.S., but again, I kind of take offense with paying $40-50 to get something shipped up here. Same thing with Amazon. It's just if it's not something that they stock locally, it becomes very cost prohibitive. And while I don't mind spending the money on a product that I know works, um, I can't justify that as a trial. And that's just me being difficult. Yeah, Dick Blick again. Dick Blick's great, but I'm in Canada, so Dick Blick will ship some stuff up here, but it's I think just to ship, it's like $30 something. So yeah, I'll find something. Um, so for the most part, just out of the tube white's going to work, and I think I'm just going to need to glaze the logo um, as well to really build out the values. Let's try to get a little bit more. Yeah, just a slow process. I'm about to get impatient and mess it up, so maybe I need to pause. Um, Anyways, I'll leave this like this for now, and I'm gonna wrap up. Everybody, thanks so much for joining in. Roy Cover, thanks so much for the tips. Um, I recognize the name, but I don't recognize the avatar, so I'm definitely gonna look it out. Everybody else, I'm gonna try to hop back on Friday late afternoon as well. See if I get some other artists to join in and do some chatting. But for now, I'm out. Enjoy the rest of your week. Happy hump day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.